pH here, and this is something that is in conjunction, conjunction with that what you're doing with your lab report there, right? So pH, all right. So basically, as it relates to pH, and of course you very well may remember this from some previous science class you have taken either I don't know, at another college or high school, middle school, junior high school, what have you. But pH actually is just is on a measurement scale. Okay, it's usually from 0 to 14, and the acid range. So let's talk about what actually really acid is. Acid simply are chemicals with higher concentration of hydrogen ions compared to hydroxy ions, whereas the base, or we also say the alkaline range, that's chemicals with higher concentration of hydroxide ions compared to hydrogen ions. And neutral is simply basically the chemicals where that basically both the acid and the base, or alkaline and base and alkaline, they're synonymous. Neutral is where acid and base they are in sync. They are pretty much like at 50-50, and that's a neutral, and that's usually like a pH of 7. Again, so this is the pH range here. So we go from 0 to 14. All right, so from 0 to 14, as you see. The neutral range again is 7. So sometimes, when I ask students, hey, well, what's that acid range? They say from 0 to 7. No, it's actually simply below 7. Okay, so you actually just have to simply just write down, below 7. Gosh, that's not a nice looking 7 there. I guess that one looks better. But simply below 7 is acid. Okay, and make sure that you know that, hey, anything above 7, all right, that is the base range or alkaline. All right, more hydroxide ions. Okay, so again, more basic with 7. So basically, so this would be like maybe like a light base, but then it gets stronger as you go towards 14. This right here, say it would be like a weak acid, and the acid gets more, it gets concentrated and stronger as you go towards 0. All right, so again, pH range. All right, so again, you have the strong acid, low numbers, weak acid, you get to the 4s to 5s. Neutral is actually right at 7. And then you start getting like a weak alkaline or weak base, you can say, and strong alkaline or strong base, 13 and 14. Now, just like to apply, now pH actually has a big, basically it plays a huge role with our the human body and physiology as it relates to urine, as it relates to blood, a whole lot of things there. But one thing which I kind of like to talk about is basically stomach acid. All right, and stomach acid can range anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5. So usually the stomach, in which this is usually pretty acidic, of course helping the digestive process of things. All right, so stomach acid is pretty acidic. We have actually a mucosal lining that lines the stomach or anything, so that is not burning through the cells of our stomach, and it's not burning through the stomach tissue. However, of course you have heard of acid reflux. A lot of times or anything, we commonly say heartburn. Heartburn, or in other words, acid reflux. Well, what's up with this heartburn thing? Okay. Well, actually, again, acid reflux or GERD, but a lot of times, yet again, we call it heartburn because we're having a burning sensation of the chest. So heartburn actually is in a throwback old school term. Well, why? Well, here's how it actually works, and that is, in reality, the heart is not burning, but rather the esophagus is, in a sense, burning, or receiving a burning feeling due to the stomach acid. So here's your mouth, here's the esophagus, all right, going down to where? The stomach. So what happens is this, and that is, and I'll show you, acid is actually coming up from the stomach, all right, into the esophagus. Acid reflux. So what happens is that the acid is actually burning the esophagus. So we're not having, so it's not, heartburn is really kind of almost in a sense esophagus burn. But since the proximity of the esophagus and the heart are so close, it makes it feel as though our heart is burning. So it's not, so our heart is not burning at all. It's actually the acid that's actually going back into the esophagus through the sphincter here. That sphincter is open. It's opening up, going into the esophagus, and it's kind of really burning the esophagus, but it makes it feel as though it's the heart because of their close proximity. All right, so again, the acid, usually the sphincter is closed, has it closed. All right, and the sphincter is a muscle where that just, has it closed, but sometimes it opens up with people. It happens with me, unfortunately, there. And then it comes out, and you get that burning radiation, that burning, not radiation, but radiating feeling of that burning sensation, and what you call heartburn. But again, your heart is not burning. It's really more so the esophagus is burning due to the low acid, due to the acid coming from the stomach is burning, kind of quote unquote burning, or really kind of agitating the esophagus. All right, so again, stomach acid backing up into the esophagus. Why? Because the sphincter right here is open. And it's supposed to open when food is coming down, but it's supposed to stay closed on some level or another when food is going up. However, of course, it opens, say, if we vomit or something like that there, right? But it's supposed to stay closed to prevent the acid from going back up. But a lot of times it just opens up. Again, another photo here. Usually stays closed. Okay. When stomach acid backs up into the esophagus, it causes that burning irritation. Again, the burning irritation associated with the esophagus, not the stomach. I'm sorry, with the esophagus, not the heart. Okay. Yeah, burning sensation in the chest and throat. Yeah, sometimes it can kind of get even into the throat area. Sometimes that happens with me, and it's just an unpleasant feeling. Another picture there. Another picture where that's open is going back into the esophagus. I'm not so much like really selling these products in a sense or anything, as though I'm a pharmaceutical sales rep for these products, but I just put these up here where that, I mean, these are some of the medicines that I take, and that is actually to help prevent acid reflux. So it just simply just lowers the acid, actually kind of closes some of that the hydrogen ion channels. I don't want to get really super deep here, but closes some of the hydrogen ion channels to prevent that there, right? So that's what we have there. Antacids or anything. So basically you have acids or anything, right? But you have what's known as antacids. And so the antacid, again, like Tums, magnesia, Rolaids. Again, so these are medications to help neutralize the stomach acid. All right, so it increases the pH. So the pH is usually low because it's acidic, so it increases the pH. So it serves as what we call a buffer. Serves as a buffer used to relieve stomach indigestion, ups the stomach, sour stomach, and so on and so forth. So sometimes people who deal with acid reflux have to drink this. Sometimes it happens to me at night, and you have to kind of just sit up, and maybe some of you guys might deal with this as well. You have to sit up and just kind of just and so that the gravity can pull that acid back down towards the stomach. Baking soda, if you're in a jam, you use baking soda, which is can be used as a buffer. Pour a little baking soda in water, stir it up, and drink that. Yeah, it's not going to taste the greatest or anything, but hey, mission accomplished. All right, or at least it helps out. All right, thank you.